You know where it's supposed to be on that back side. But how, they need to shoot it and make sure.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what they how to do that.
Yeah.
They won't call them out there.
Yeah, they did. They approved that February.
That's the one you did check for.
Very good.
So, then the one that gets
Okay, we'll call the March meeting to order. If you would, please bow your head for a short word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this another day. We thank Thee for many blessings, Lord. We pray a special blessing on Mr. Simmons. Lord, it's so good to see him doing as well as he is. And my father-in-law, please be with him and bless him and help him, Lord. And Lord Bishop and all the others, we've got him and pray that you forgive us of all our many sins. That you do say something, bring honor and glory to your holy name. In Jesus' name. Okay, Mrs. Cook.
Okay, at the January meeting,
We got the recorder on.
did you turn it on?
We got the recorder on. My bad last time.
Pass it now.
You want me to read the original? And then the revised, then the re-revised?
What do you have?
Well, I took the other ones out. I have the re-revised,
Okay.
and I have the original.
Well, now we sent them back to be revised, correct?
Right.
Okay.
And y'all got a copy of that one.
You need them revised.
No, I need the ones for the first ones I revised. I got them here.
okay, I don't know what. So we got, this is the same, this is the same. I mean, the minutes for the same meeting. I got 3 sets for the same meeting. My God. Why do we have 3 sets?
Because there was 3.
Send them
You
back.
had December the 29th.
So this was the ones we sent back.
We only sent them back one time. We didn't send them back twice.
But I mean, she was not here, she's listening.
I'm watching videos and listening to tapes and stuff. Okay, the revised minutes were members present: Richard Bracknell, William Simmons, Holly Miller, Howard Walden, and Penny Ransom. Mayor Lester Harmon called the meeting to order at 6:30. Invocation was given by Mayor Lester Harmon. Under new business, adoption of year 2015 operating budget. After much discussion between Council Member Ransom and City Attorney Daly, Howard Walden asked if the budget could be adopted without the bank statements being balanced. City Attorney Daly responded it could. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller with a second by Councilmember Bracknell to approve the budget as presented. The vote was 4-1, with Councilmember Ransom voting against. Item number 2, adoption of the year 2015 capital expense budget. After some discussion, a motion was made by Councilmember Bracknell with a second by Councilmember Miller to approve the budget as presented. The vote was 4-1, with Councilmember Ransom voting against. Next item was the three-way stop sign at Center Point Road and Billings Road. This will be completed by Carroll County Public Works Department. After some discussion, a motion was made by Councilmember Walden with a second from Councilmember Simmons, with the vote was 5-0. Item number 4, payroll services. They began discussion to subcontracting out the payroll to a corporate payroll service. After the discussion, Councilmember Bracknell made a motion to subcontract this out to corporate payroll service, second by Councilmember Walden. This service is to start January 1st, 2015. The vote was 5-0. Item number 5, bonuses for part-time senior center employees with 29 hours versus 15 hours. Councilmember Bracknell, after some discussion, it was decided to give the average of the last 6 months. Also discussed was the employee with the police department that needed 1 week finishing the probationary period. They wanted to know if this employee would get 1 week's pay. A motion was made by Councilmember Bracknell, second by Councilmember Miller, and the vote was 4-1 with Councilmember Ransom voting against. The sixth item was the ordinance to create a position for the CFO. This is the first reading of an ordinance to create a position for Chief Financial Officer. Attorney Davey presented the ordinance along with the job description. Item number 7, cutoff policy. City administrator was asked for a committee to be formed to formulate a cutoff policy for the city. No action was taken. Item number 8, City Attorney David is to give an update on FOGO. A representative from FOGO will be present at the January meeting. It was also discussed that Pam Edwards, Cindy Moore, Lynn Nixon, and Tina Duncan be trained in the new programs when the city converts to the new system. No action taken. Item number 9, budget amendments. After discussion between Councilmember Ransom and the rest of the council members and the city attorney, no action was taken. Item number 10, city attorney to report on accounts payable. City Attorney Davey reported that the city is regularly paying late fees on credit card bills as well as to electric companies. No action taken. Item number 11, email. A motion was made by Councilmember Bracknell to remove this item from the agenda, seconded by Councilmember Miller. The vote, I'm assuming it was 5-0. Number 12, hiring and Fazio to reconcile bank statements. After some discussion, City Attorney Davey suggested hiring Lisa Lofton with Carroll County to come and complete this work. If hired for a lower rate of pay, no action taken. With no further business, the motion was made by Councilmember Bracknell to adjourn, second by Councilmember Simmons, and the vote was 5-0.
Y'all have heard the reading of those minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Mr. Simmons, any discussion? In favor, signify by saying aye.
Now we just reject these two signatures.
Throw
them away.
Can we
This
have
is
it?
good. Can I have those where I can sign them?
Yes, sir, you may.
We get rid of vote. We got to vote.
I thought we all voted.
Y'all voted on the 20, y'all just voted on the 29th.
We all voted.
All right.
Okay.
So this is what I'm about to say, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. January the 27th. January the 5th.
That one was skipped because I went back and looked and y'all voted on those at the last meeting and approved them.
So these can
Yeah.
be
Taken out, taken.
Put
taken
your
out
call.
too.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, so we're down to January the 27th.
January 27th, Councilmember Richard Bracknell, Councilmember Holly Miller, Councilmember Howard Walden. A special call meeting of the Mayor and City Council was called to order by Mayor Lester Harmon, who opened the meeting with prayer. New business, the first item on the agenda was personnel. After some discussion, no action was taken. Item number 2, second order of business, was to add a signer to the bank account. City Attorney Cynthia Daly had prepared a resolution appointing Pam Edwards to sign checks on the city accounts and to remove Jim Baxley as a signer. Motion made by Councilmember Miller with a second by Councilmember Walden. Vote was 3-0. There was no further business to conduct, and a motion was made by Councilmember Bracknell with a second by Councilmember Walden to adjourn. The vote was 3-0.
And y'all have heard the reading of those amendments.
Make a motion, we accept them.
Motion, Mr. Brackman, here a second. Second, Mr. Walden, any discussion? Favor signify by saying aye. Okay, February the 2nd.
February the 2nd, 2015. Members present constituting a quorum: Richard Bracknell, Holly Miller, Howard Walden, and William Simmons by phone. The meeting was called to order by Mayor Lester Harmon, invocation by Mayor Lester Harmon. The approval of the prior minutes, December 29th, 2014. Motion was made by Councilmember Bracknell, second by Councilmember Miller to approve, followed by a motion from Holly Miller, seconded by Richard Bracknell to table until tape can be listened to for corrections. The vote was 4-0. January 5th, 2015, motion made by Councilmember Miller, second by Councilmember Walden to approve, followed by a motion to table by Councilmember Bracknell, second by Councilmember Miller to table until the tape can be listened to. And according to my notes, those were approved.
I thought they were tabled.
We can go back and read them.
There was a reason they were tabled, I
I think the reason was that it didn't show who made motions and how the vote was. Is that what it was? All right. January 22nd, 2015, motion to accept is read by Councilmember Miller, second by Councilmember Bracknell. The vote is 4-0. January 27th, 2015. Motion to accept is read, Councilmember Walden, second by Councilmember Simmons. The vote is 4-0. Under old business, the 2015 operating budget, the discussion was on salary for the new city clerk. Councilmember Bracknell made a motion to put the original figure on the budget of $35,360 to replace the current amount of $22,578. A motion was seconded by Councilmember Simmons. The vote was 4-0. Under new business, purchase of storm drain pipe with manholes for soccer fields. Howard Ray told the council that he recommended option number 3 at a cost of $33,410. Councilmember Bracknell made a motion to approve Howard Ray with regards to approve Howard Ray with regards to Villa Rosa Pump Station. He explained what seconded by Councilmember Miller. The vote was 4-0.
There's several, we can go ahead and start with them if you want, just stop reading and we start thinking.
Evidently, on the Villa Rosa Pump Station, he explained what needed to be done. Councilmember Miller made a motion to approve the hand of the project, second by Councilmember Simmons. Howard Ray said he needs 6 to 10 days to come up with an option, and it would be done by hourly fee. The vote is 4-0. Approval for Howard Ray to mount 30% of the storm drain system to be done by March 16th per MS4. The vote is 4-0. Item number 4, Sandra Stillwell came before the mayor and council with regards to her annual performance appraisal. She told the mayor and council that she felt she should get a raise for all she does. She also stated she has worked for the city for 6 years and that she was paid less than the surrounding area senior center directors. Motion was made by Councilmember Miller, seconded by Councilmember Simmons, to approve the pay raise retroactive back to August 1st, 2014. The vote was 4-0. Item number 5, the consideration for advertising for a firm to perform the city's 2014 financial audit. Need to contact Carroll County to find out who does theirs. Motion made by Holly Miller, second by Richard Bracknell, to advertise that the city will be accepting bids for this job. Consideration of resolution to authorize to execute all documents for the city of Temple to relinquish the riparian rights and maintenance of Johnson Lake back to the heirs of Peyton Owen Johnson. Motion is made by Holly Miller, second by Howard Walden, to table this item and item 7. The vote is 4-0. Item 7 was tabled. Item 8, Matthew Roach with Darrell Recovery for the purpose of collecting past due accounts. They normally collect around 25%. The council told him they would look over the contract and get back to him. No action taken. Item number 9, Brian Acree asked for this item to be tabled due to the fact that Councilmember Ransom was not present. Holly Miller made a motion to table, second by Richard Bracknell. The vote was 4-0. Report from Debbie McIntosh regarding the DDA. She stated that in order to move forward, the city had to be on board with them and the city would need to pay them the $2,000 that has been budgeted in prior years. This would need an amendment for this. There was no vote taken. 11, city clerk asked that the city advertise immediately the position of city clerk. Motion made by Richard Bracknell, second by William Simmons, vote 4-0. Item number 12, real estate. Motion made by Holly Miller to table this item, second by Richard Bracknell, vote 4-0. Number 13, set a time to interview the applicants for the position of city manager. It was decided to advertise a called meeting for Thursday, February 5th for executive session for personnel. Motion made by Holly Miller, second by Howard Walden, vote 4-0. Item 14, Police Chief Thorne told the mayor council that the department is short-handed and he would like permission to hire one part-time employee. Motion made by Holly Miller, second by Richard Bracknell, the vote was 4-0. Public comment. Mr. Joe Wiggins came before the mayor and council requesting a sewer tap. He's willing to pay the tap-on fee of $4,000. He had obtained an easement through the property owned by Deborah Sanders, Don Johnson, and Diane Gordon. The request was sent to Attorney Cynthia Daly to look over and have an opinion for Thursday's call meeting. Let's get into that one. Council comment. Mayor Lester Harmon, bonuses for senior center and all other employees that have not been paid need to be paid as soon as possible. Council Member Walden stated that the three-way stop sign at Ringer Street and Center Point Road are working very well. Council Miller, Simmons, and Bracknell had no comment. Councilmember Richard Bracknell made a motion to adjourn, second by Councilmember Howard Walden. The vote was 4-0.
Okay, I hear a motion to approve those minutes.
Yeah, motion to approve due to corrections.
Okay, we have a motion to approve with corrections. I hear a second. Second, Mr. Walden. Okay, any discussion, corrections? Corrections. Discuss corrections.
On number 4, we're supposed to be looking into Ms. Stillwell's pay raise. It was not, and we will make it retroactive once we find out where we need to be with it. And number 5, it says motion made by Holly Miller, second by Richard Bracknell to advertise that the city will be accepting, and it needs to be ACCEPT.
Got that minute good?
No. On number 11?
Number 5.
On number 5?
Yeah, just the wrong form of accepting.
Let's go back up to
It
number.
was contacting or contracting, and
Yeah.
got that one right.
Ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back up to number 2, where item number 1 runs into
Yeah.
what sounds like number 2. That just needs to be, I guess we'll
Put it
leave it
down.
up to clerk to redo that. So it sounds like number 1 and number 2 is combined.
Yep, it looked it too. When you're reading them.
Number 6, consideration of resolution to authorize and to execute.
Okay.
And number 11, city clerk asked ASKD.
See, that's not correct, Dave. We didn't have a city clerk.
No,
It says the city clerk asked that the city advertise.
that was.
The motion was that we advertise the city clerk position
That's right,
immediately.
yeah. So it needs to be
The motion
city clerk
was that we
altogether.
advertise the city clerk position.
And I think it was Mr. Baxley that asked.
Because there is no city clerk. There wasn't one there either.
So it was just that it was asked.
You got those, that Ms. Cook?
If not, I'll get it after the meeting.
Okay, you're still working on these, how far down did you get?
So number 11, so you go. Oh, yeah.
The old code on the last page where the council comments are. Under Councilmember Howard Baldwin stated the three-way stop at Ringer Street, that should be Village Road and Center Point Road.
Okay.
Stop signs, make it public.
Any more corrections?
We need these to come back to us the following month to
See, correct.
see the correction.
Correct. Yeah.
I think it's signed in your packet would suffice.
Yeah.
But it actually, and I wasn't listening to those who looked at contract mayor, but it should say that the member's present and then also note who's absent.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught that, that's got that.
You would think one leads to the other, but it should say
Yeah.
specifically present and absent.
Okay, so y'all want this brought back after the correction?
We need to make sure that they're
You,
done.
you signed them right when the
Yeah, so
corrections
you
are
check
made,
for them.
so just copy, put in our,
I got my notes here.
and just, not to be revoted on, but
Well,
just
push.
put in, oh,
The
shit.
problem is, we just need to make sure it's not getting dropped, that these are actually being approved.
Yeah, you're right.
Not that you're dropping them, but there's a lot
They
going on.
want,
In little
they
papers.
have been dropped, they want to be dropped.
Maybe that's a good idea, just to bring them back, let's look over them, then if we don't see anything, then sign.
Okay, so that means a motion to bring them back.
Sherry made those three.
I second it.
Second by Mr. Bradley. Bring these minutes back after the correction. Discussion on the table, signify by saying aye. That get rid of all the minutes.
Should be in the packet with February 11th.
Yeah, it's not done. If you're like this.
Oh, yeah. It looks like
You got it.
That's what I doesn't do minutes. You
Oh, it
do
looks
that.
different, I see.
Do anybody here keep minutes? So I do. So that's why they don't look like they do.
All right, yeah.
So I'm
okay.
applying for all corrections that are needed.
Okay, the minutes of February the 11th. Special comment, go ahead and distribute.
The meeting was called to order at 8 p.m. by Mayor Lester Harmon. Present for the meeting were Council Members Richard Bracknell, Council Member Holly Miller, Mayor Lester Harmon, Council Member Howard Walden, not present Council Member William Simmons, and Council Member Penny Ransom. Mayor Harmon delivered the invocation. Under new business personnel, City Attorney Cynthia Daly presented the proposed agreement to retain Michael Stewart to serve in a consulting capacity to fulfill the duties of interim city administrator. After discussion, Councilmember Walden made a motion to authorize the mayor to contact Mr. Stewart and offer the agreement with the latitude to increase the monthly fee of $400 if needed. Seconded by Councilmember Miller, the vote was 3-0 in favor. Item 2, real estate. Cynthia Daly presented a post-sale contract for the city to purchase the vacant community and Southern Bank building for the purchase price of $450,000 as is. After discussion, Councilmember Miller made a motion to approve the contract, second by Councilmember Walden. Council requested City Attorney Daly ask whether the bank would be willing to move all the ATM operations outside the building, ensure that interior cameras were remaining, and whether the ATM lease could be month to month, but these were not deal breakers, and council did not want the counter offer to be made. Vote was 3-0 to approve. Item 3, sewer easement. A construction and maintenance easement was presented by City Attorney Daly, which was executed. Mr. Joe Williams informed the council that he was unable to tap into sewer in front of his house because gravity fall not being present, and that he was requesting the city to run a line from the tap approximately 206 feet to his property line on the backside so that he could tap into the same. He would be paying the required tap fee. Councilmember Bracknell made a motion to authorize Public Works to install the line to Mr. Williams' property line after the line was approved by the city engineer. Second by Councilmember Miller. The vote was 3-0. Public comment, none. Adjournment. Councilmember Bracknell made a motion to adjourn at the 8:34 p.m. meeting. Second by at 8:34 p.m. Second by Councilmember Miller. The vote was 3-0.
I hear a motion we approve.
Motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Wright. Your second. Second, Mr. Walden, any discussion? Favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, that's carried. Did you get good?
Not my forte.
Very expensive.
Okay. Old business, real estate, Mrs. Daly, have you heard anything?
I have, the bank they're executing, I just haven't received the copy yet because they're mailing them to us. So once we get them, I'll bring them to you to sign. They weren't willing to do a month to month on the ATM, but it was so they paid $3,600 a year instead of $3,100, but it's renewable each year. They said that if they replaced the unit at some point, they would move everything outside, but it was cost prohibitive for them to do it at this point. And what was that other question? There was one more. What was that other one?
One more, I need to remember.
It's in the minutes. What was that other
Yeah, I know,
question?
it's in the
Just left
minutes.
my mind.
Cameras,
The cameras, the interior cameras remain, but what the mayor said, the brain of it will not.
Servant, we have to get our own brain.
Yes, you have to get your own brain to make it work.
Don't have to do that on the other one, too, so that's.
But I looked in the mail, I thought they might have come in the mail today, but they were, so, as soon as I get those, we'll bring them up in the minutes.
So they have,
They'd agree.
let me know, we'd like to get that signed. Okay, item number 2, the Johnson Lake deal.
Mr. Witcher had requested to approve those things before y'all saw them. I sent an email to him last week, but I didn't get them back. Main reason is because to make sure they're vested the right way. Because, the Johnsons are deceased, and so I wasn't sure if there's a stay or specific years or how it was supposed to be done. So, we don't mind to table that for the next meeting. And what I'll do, if they don't have it back to me, is I'll just do a resolution authorizing the mayor and I, if that's okay, to finish it out. I was gonna do that today, I just ran out of time, quite frankly.
Back on me now, it's their attorney.
Yes, it's Mr. Witcher. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. And Jim Cam, the dirt lawyer in my office, is actually, and he told me right before I left that he had emailed him, hadn't heard back yet about how to best the deed. You do.
Make a motion, we table the Johnson Lake
So the next agenda, if you will.
to the next regular meeting.
Okay, get a second by Mrs. Miller. Okay. Any discussion? So, signify by saying aye. Carried. Okay, the next one is Darrell. Recovery.
Darnell? Mayor, I have, Darnell, sorry. I did have some things that would need to be changed in this agreement, if y'all decide to enter into it. I don't know. Yeah.
Briefly, they did came before us as a collection service. They were offering to collect some bad debts, but I got to looking, and we have almost $300,000 out in old debt, old money sold to us, and the main part of it is water and sewer. And it's from people that have left, some of them years ago, that their deposit did not cover what was owed. And I'm satisfied a lot of them are long gone, but it won't cost us any money to try to recover some of the taxpayers' money through a collection service that will charge a percentage and just mail us a check every month if they're successful in collecting. Now,
Yeah, if you don't mind, Mayor, I'll just kind of tell you that the agreement, some things that need to be changed. They've asked for a term of 3 years. Y'all can't enter into a multi-year contract without a yearly termination, so they would have to agree to change that. There's also, I would ask for an indemnity provision to be put in here, so that would indemnify the city and all its appointed elected officials and that sort of thing for any of their collection efforts. And then also to put in a provision that they'll follow all the requirements of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, as well as all other state and federal laws and regulations regarding the collection of debt. And other than that, it was pretty clean. Now, let me just go over with you what they're actually would be doing under this agreement, so you really know. They would be an independent contractor, of course, we'll be contracting with them, to do the collection. With, it would have to be a term of 1 year, subject to the termination provisions as set forth in the state law. And then there's proprietary information about the city and mayors that would be, like specific, we've got that identity theft ordinance, they would have to follow that sort of thing, that would go into the proprietary side. That we wouldn't use any other organization to try to collect the debt other than them at this point. That we would give, the city would provide them with access to a database or the information on the debts of what's owed in the life and where these last known addresses, that sort of thing. They would then use the best efforts to recover any delinquent accounts by contacting responsible parties via phone or written correspondence, reviewing uniform billing forms, locating and identifying responsible parties to skip trace, that sort of thing, and or other such duties available under federal and state law collector deems necessary or desirable to secure their recoveries. With the client's duties, that would mean the cities would assure that the collector receives all collection information on delinquent accounts, refers to the collector in a timely manner, with the collector assuming no liability or failure to secure recovery on collector accounts. In other words, if they don't collect anything, we don't hold them liable for not getting it. That we'd fully cooperate with their efforts to get the accounts, sign liens as necessary, releases, satisfaction of debt, all of the documents reasonably requested by the collector promptly after the collector's request, to immediately refer to collector all inquiries and settlement offers. If they got contacted and they called them to settle, they'd have to go through them, not through the city. For that, and to do anything reasonably requested by the collector to collect the delinquent accounts. Now that's pretty broad, but it would still have to be reasonable. Any or all of the delinquent accounts referred to the collector can be withdrawn by y'all at any time upon written notification, provided that all the delinquent accounts of which payment has been received can be retained by collector until paid in full, or as long as a reason for withdrawal is sufficient. The funds received by the collector shall require that all checks for payment of delinquent accounts be made payable to the account of the collector. The checks or drafts received by the collector from the responsible parties made payable to the client would be endorsed to the collector for the client and deposited in the collection account maintained by the collector for the benefit of the client for subsequent disbursement to the client in accordance with the terms of the agreement. In other words, they hold all the money and then they do be writing no checks. If y'all receive funds paid regularly on any of these debts, that you forwarded to them within 5 business days, so they can take their report out. They don't have the authority to settle or compromise on fees due on any delinquent account without prior approval of the client. They have to notify the city upon receipt of any settlement or compromise offer on any delinquent account, and assist the city with making the decision concerning such offers. The city would be solely responsible for all decisions concerning the settlement or compromise of any of the delinquent accounts, unless settlement parameters are set for the collector in advance. We did not give them any parameters in this contract for settlement, but I would suggest you do, so that they can move forward with that. Up to 25% or something to discount them. They don't have the authority to enter any suits or file any suit to collect any delinquent accounts on behalf of the city, except with your written consent to do so. They could recommend that you do so, that would be filed, and that you may make every effort to collect a delinquent account on a volunteer basis. That they would be authorized by the city to file with the debt service credit bureau. Credit bureau. Thank you, Elson, for the word. Credit bureaus for any of the national report under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That client account validation that we would represent to them, to the collector, that the amount alleged due at the time the accounts are assigned to them for collection is true and correct, would be asserted that they are, and that they're legal and valid debt of the holder, and we would be unaware of any disputes. We have to notify them of any notice of bankruptcies, because of course that stays in the collection efforts if there was any bankruptcies. and then they would get a 25% collection fee from the gross amount collected. So whatever they collect, they get 25% off the top. And gross collected means the amount collected by collector on any delinquent accounts in cash or cash equivalents. Basically, it's gross, nothing taken out of it, you know, no expenses or anything, they get it off the top. Within 15 days at the end of any given month, that they provide the city with a statement showing the total collections for the past month and their fees for services with respect thereto. And in addition, the collector shall remit the client check for all sums received and recovered by the collector for the preceding collection month. And then performance under the agreement, they agree to perform, and then the remedies, they would, if we, upon the occurrence or continuance of the default, which means we don't give them anything or we hold funds from them, that at its option and without any obligation to do so, in addition to any other remedies, that they could not try to collect any debt for you. That's one of the options. The other one is to recover reasonable cost from the party in default, provided the party, in this goes both ways, in default is non-current payment, there's no payment scheme. Injunctive relief, in other words, that they could file and say you gotta stop or you have to go forward. Specific performance meaning you have to go forward. And that any part of the agreement that's not, that becomes, that's ruled invalid, that it gets separated, and that there's no waiver of any of the rights under there. And they have an identification under here, I just want to tweak it some.
Okay.
And then, but, Mayor, I don't know whether y'all have or not solicited any of these from any other people or not. That's just the only question from now, but this was just presented to you. But if this is something you're interested in, you may want to look at other companies that do it, but that's up to y'all.
It's not something we have to take bids on.
No, because you're not paying them, but I'm sure they're not the only ones, the only thing you're paying.
This guy came in here and solicited business.
Yeah. So anyway, that it needs to have some revisions to the contract, that's something I want here.
Let me try this I hear a motion that we enter into a 1-year contract with this Garnett recovery per Mrs. Daly's recommendations and review and drawing up and tweaking the contract. Is that something y'all want to do?
Well, the motion that we,
Second discussion. Any more discussion?
Yeah, question.
Got a motion and a second, now discussion. That's Mr. Brown.
The other thing I want to do it, there's no doubt, but I'm a little bit concerned about who's going to monitor that. You know, we're short-handed, and I think this is something that we need to get a city administrator in place to kind of spearhead it. So could we pass it with that, or could we amend the motion to say?
Pass it any way this council wants to pass, but it's gonna take her some time to get this up. And
Right.
if you would like to withdraw that motion, we can just let her bring the contract back to the city council.
I mean, it's up to the council. I'd like for us to, I'd like the implementation be, when we have a city administrator, this is something that we need somebody to stay on top of. It can't be turned over to the side somewhere.
She's gonna have to tweak that agreement. Y'all just wanna bring it back next month? Yes, sir.
I got one concern. I was not wanting the active accounts turned over to it that we're having.
these are past due.
These are ones that's gone. Yeah, they're off the system.
At least, what, a year delinquent or something like that?
I'm here if there's any questions I can answer.
That'll be good.
You're early whenever I was looking for it.
Real quick, I heard all the questions. The addendum you're talking about, not a problem. We do that all the time. We have a lot of clients that don't like something, they need to change it, they text. Whatever you change, email it to us 5 minutes. What you said.
If you've got this in Word, I'll give you
Yep,
my
I'll send it to
email.
you in a Word document, just give me an email. That's no problem to addend to change that. In reference to these are past due accounts. These are not current. These would be your 2014, 2013, 10, 11 accounts that go past due. That are delinquent. We would try to collect on those. We do reports to our bureaus, the credit bureaus. I mean, it's no cost to you up front. We try to collect. As far as getting the data, I think that's your concern.
Right. Without having the city administrator in place.
Correct. I deal with a lot of cities. In reference to that, we can accept the data in any way depending on your software. If you can go into 2014, export it to an Excel spreadsheet, send it to us, we load it into our system. We load it into our system. We have cities that simply just print out the page, like the application that you take, print it, fax it to us, email it to us, or mail it to us. We input that into our system. So we want to make, I can work with you on that to make that as easy as possible. I don't want that to become a strain on you to get that data. But once we get it, you get it to us, and we handle the rest. We do the calls, we send the letters, we report to the bureaus. Any disputes come to us because we're the ones who report it to the bureaus. We have to handle all that. We'll, the settlement, you can write that in the contract. If not, we can call you on a one-on-one basis. We do that. We do not litigate on utilities. Unless it's commercial, a building or a bank or a business or something, maybe. But as far as litigation on $100, $200, $300 water bills, we're not going to do that.
We just want to try to recover some of the taxpayer money that these people are entitled to.
Exactly, and that's simply, it's a straight fee, 25%. There's no cost. There's no software for you to buy. It's pretty straightforward. We collect it. We send you a check at the end of the month every 30 days. The one-year contract's fine. You just stipulate that. We can change that. And then if however you want to do it, we can do it on a 3-year renewal or 1 year and send you a new contract. That contract really doesn't change unless laws change in the FTCPA, Fair Credit Reporting Act laws that we may have to change.
Yeah, I wasn't really open to 3 years.
If you got $300,000, I heard you said,
Approaching 300.
get that to us. That's all lost revenue. We'll try our best to collect on an average 20-25%. We'll get back. That's the rates. Some are better, some are worse, depending on the city's information that they collect up front. Obviously.
We already have some information put together in some sheets and standard.
Yeah, and then like I said, I'll make that simple as to get the data out of your system as possible. Don't let that burden you in, because all of our cities that we work with do it different ways.
Questions from Mr. Bowman? Okay, Mr. Simmons, you still got a motion on the floor. Yes, sir. We'll go with this gentleman for a 1-year contract after Mrs. Daly tweaks it. Is there a second, sir? Any more discussion? Those signify by saying aye. Any opposed? It's carried. Thank you, sir.
If you just email it to me.
Okay, I'll email you a Word document. Do you have your phone number? Thank you, sir.
Okay, purchase of drink coolers for recreation. Justin?
Yes. All right, I just wanted to, first of all, just ask permission to start looking for coolers for, I received this letter, the letter that you all got in the package from Buffalo Rock, the company we use to supply our drinks. They went up on all of the prices for everything that we use. So, based on that, I started looking to where anywhere we could save money and not have to spend as much on that. And if you would look at the second page, that was the first order that I placed for winter sports this year. And the total was at the bottom. That's what we started out with spending. They are Pepsi product, so we can only sell their Pepsi products. If we start using Sam's Club, we can sell Pepsi products and Coke products. The contract that we were under with Buffalo Rock is up and over. The reason that I'm asking for coolers is because they sponsor the coolers that we have now. And in order for us to, if we start there, we say, yes, that's what I want to do, go towards when we can sell Coke. More people want Coke products anyway. So, those are just the popular items. If we had, if I had purchased Sam's Club, Coke products, and Pepsi products, we would have spent $240 instead of $429.20, which was a savings of $188.68 on that one order. The third page is just a little chart of, the cost per case, how much they charge us, how much we paid for them, and how much profit we made off of those sales. So that was really the whole reason why I was asking to purchase our own coolers. No decision now. I'm not asking for a decision now to be made. I just wanted to that.
You don't have any quotes yet?
No, I don't have any. I wanted permission first before I even started doing anything.
Well, I would think that they would give you permission to pursue that.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to find out. How much it costs. I guess we would have to be looking at taking that out of the SPOS money. The SPOS got them.
Coolers. The coolers, but can they have as long as they have, at least they have a year line. I'm thinking you're talking about those like.
I mean, they're not the double coolers, but just the regular cooler, just the whole sodas or.
Is it like when you say cooler, are you talking about what you open up?
No, I mean, it's a refrigerator, yeah.
Yes, it would. I was a bit confused on what a cooler was, sorry.
Does he need a motion, Brett, to look into it?
No, you can't bring that back. There's no action necessary. He's just asking the job to good with his own, right? You get your quotes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Akers.
Mr. Mayor, I was met by your city attorney before the meeting started. She asked me that I be civil before this started, and I've lived here for 20 years, and I've never come to a council meeting and never not been civil. I've never raised my voice at anyone, threatened anyone here. Don't ever plan to. My comments are directed toward one person. That person's not here tonight. And I ask that you table it once again until I have a chance to speak my piece in a civil matter.
If this is the thing that you and I have talked about, that Ms. David's already handled that situation.
No, sir, it's not been handled. She talked about me in public, and she did it in a capacity in which she serves as council member. I'm not going to mention her name, but she's not here tonight.
Well, this has been what, in terms of old business moving forward, it would need to come as a new agenda item with a new request, because it's tabled for this. So, if you're not ready to go forward tonight, it would need to come back as if it's going to be on the agenda, just come back as a new request rather than rolling on as new business, because it only goes for one meeting.
It's not a new request, it's the same request.
You just need to redo it next month, if that's what you want to do.
So the item before me, 2 items before me, that's going to be tabled for the third time, how come that didn't have to go through the same process?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's just take this.
The Johnson Lake thing is tabled for the third time.
That's a legal issue because their attorney asked to read it. There's nothing I can really do about it.
Well, mine is too. I put that on notice.
No, it's the city only. So I would ask I will repeat to the council in executive session where it belongs, the legal issues.
I'm asking that you table it or put me on the agenda for the next month meeting.
Well, Mrs. Davis, there is ways of doing the stuff legally. We cannot be using this to physically attack the council.
Mr. Mayor, you haven't heard my speech. I don't plan to attack anyone. You're jumping to the
You have to speak to me.
Absolutely.
And, she's trying to tell you that your request was already handled, correct?
That's correct, I did, I provided the information as requested.
I don't know that it's been handled, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I don't know that it had.
Correct, you don't know it's been handled. That is happening, that's why I'm asking to address it. When District 1 is represented.
I think that, you need to address that with the attorney.
Does Ms. Ransom resign?
Not to my knowledge, she has not.
This is what, the 5th council meeting, 4th council meeting she's missed? Did we pay Ms. Ransom to be at these council meetings, or did we pay her to represent District 1?
Well, it's at large, but yes, I did.
So we're paying somebody for services that are not here?
Now, it's not a question and answer session, but yes, they do get paid per meeting when they attend, I do.
Okay, well, I think as a citizen, for 20 years now, I have a right. If this person has a right to speak about me, then I have a right to address it.
There's other ways of addressing it other than a council meeting. You know, we're
Mr. Mayor,
trying to take.
I asked to have a word with you today, did I not? Answer my question. I asked to have a word with you today here at the city hall.
I was here, yes, sir.
And you told me no.
No, sir, I did not tell you no, sir.
Let's go.
No, sir.
Don't ask me, I was not part of
And
that.
I didn't tell you no. You said you gonna be around here a while, and I said yes.
I said, could I have a moment of your time?
Well, you can have a moment of my time anytime, 24/7, sir. You have my number.
I'm not gonna argue the issue. I'm gonna ask it to be tabled or put on the agenda for next month's meeting.
If we can't table it, we put it on the agenda.
Process the
That
change.
will be a legal question, sir.
You vote tonight, put it on the agenda. Or you have to,
Well, y'all need to follow the normal process that y'all use, which y'all think would make the city administrator, no city administrator, then for the next, for the agenda. We're gonna have that Wednesday before. I think that's what y'all said, you call it.
I'm sorry, sir?
Wednesday
before
before
the next meeting.
you think it has to be Wednesday before the meeting?
Wednesday, 12 noon is what the time cutoff is.
And if there's no city administrator, that's.
So I'm just waiting for clarification. What's gonna happen now?
By the Wednesday before the next meeting, the next regular council meeting, if you want back on the agenda, you call the city administrator, or you call the mayor and request to be on the agenda. It's that simple.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What if the city administrator or the mayor denies him?
I don't know, I'm
Can
having
a
to look, I don't know
council
that we have.
member have him placed on the agenda?
Y'all decided, now this body decided how agenda items were gonna be done,
And we're allowed to put on the agenda.
and it was the Wednesday before is what I remember.
Right.
Because the city administrator, the mayor, was request.
yes, a council member can put something on the
It
agenda.
goes to, and I had to pull it out, but what I remember is it goes through the city administrator, no city
You got a right
administrator.
to put anything on this agenda.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Everything you removed, the item,
The city administrator. The city administrator, he's withdrawing.
Okay.
Well, hang on. Withdraw, who's
No,
withdrawing?
I said, since you don't wanna go forward tonight.
No, I wanna go forward. You're not allowing me to go forward. I don't want that put in there as I'm not willing to go forward, because I am willing to go forward if District 1's represented here tonight.
You have to address me, not District 1 and these others, so if you want to address me,
I want to address the council, Mayor. All the council's not present.
Brian, I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not present. Where's the podium?
Yeah, I don't know, it kinda got stuck somewhere, sorry.
So, they're not present. All your council members are not present. This is the third meeting I've attended.
you know, I am the one that opened this back up. You used to have stringent rules to get back on here. And so people are supposed to address me, you know, when they're concerned. And it doesn't matter whether a council member is here or not. But it looks to me like you might be singling out someone if they're not here.
Mayor, I'm the victim here. I was the one that was singled out by the council member, not, it's the other way around.
Administrator, we have an attorney. She said she'd try to tell you that this is being handled, sir.
Okay, I'll wait till next month.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Jeffrey Pierce.
Yes, sir. I'm humbly and grateful able to speak in front of all of you. But I noticed that it was a Lincoln LS at the Temple Police Department, and it's been sitting out there for over a year and a half. And I've passed by 2 times, and I got in touch with actually the Temple Police Department, which they recommended me to contact you all, especially Mayor, to see if I could actually get the car, purchased or not. It is a government card, which I do notice, and I stopped and looked at it one day, in which I knew it was a government card simply because the tag said GB. And I would love to have the car. I've had 2 previous. I'm a Carroll County resident, 22 years old, and I would love to get that car and have it. And I do, with it being a government car, I do believe the government represents good, and if a Toro car doesn't represent good, it's bad. So I would like to actually have to get away from the government. So. At a 2005 Lincoln LS at fair condition, it is worth a minimum of $800, specifically $749. At max $333.85. At fair condition. Fair condition actually means running. That Lincoln LS car, the motor is not even running. So at fair condition, at a minimum cost of $800, if you were to sell the car, it would actually have to be below that price for me to be interested. And I'd love for you all to sell it to get it off your y'all's hands and actually have the property looking good without a Toro car sitting on it. And I think Temple is a great city, and y'all shouldn't have junk sitting around. Speak past 3 of them.
Chief, is that a
Them
drug?
too?
I believe it was seized.
Oh, it's a seat.
I believe it was a seized vehicle. And if that's the case, it may have to be auctioned off. I'll have to double check on that.
Personal property, no, but the seizure may make a difference. So that's why I was looking at you going, how do we
Yes,
get it?
I believe it was a seized in a traffic stop.
Uh-huh.
And if that's the case, it may have to be auctioned. I think I'll double check tomorrow.
As far as auctioning, how will that work for that specific
I
car?
think in the past, we've used, cities use govdeals.com. And it's kind of like I guess eBay.
Is that something y'all would be interested in doing for something that's tore up?
Well, I need to do just a little bit of, we need to find out exactly how
Of
it
course,
takes, we
that's
have
fine.
to get it.
That's
But the way the law works is if it's a seized vehicle, we got a little bit of
Right.
a different issue. But the council gets to, they typically have used gov deals to sell their stuff, but they get to set pricing on personal property to sell, so.
And just for a little bit more information, I'm kind of specific when I talk to people. Even if I were to tow the car, and I live in Carroll County right before you come into Temple, it would cost me about $90. If y'all were to even work out a price, at max, I would sell them for at a fair condition. So it would all depend on the auction. Right?
Yeah, I think.
Yes, sir.
I would imagine there's probably a fee just to list it on there. I don't know about a
What I would suggest, Mayor, is that if the chief and I could just look into how we got the vehicle and what it is, and then.
Y'all can just give it to me.
Well, it may not have to come back before y'all, is what I'm saying, I don't know, we need to look into that. So, if you'll just be in touch with the police chief.
That's perfect.
Those two are gonna look into it, then we'll solve the issue.
That's fine.
If we just get you contact information.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's a no action right now, because it may, it's sort of what it is. I don't want to table something y'all may never see again.
Okay.
So it's a no action.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor and City.
DDA,
I believe they got the name wrong.
I believe they do. Pierce.
Hey, who knows, I was typing a lot that day.
What were you drinking?
It was one day
Alrighty, I want to report that we had a wonderful meeting last month with the mayor and Mr. Walden attending our DDA meeting. One thing, when I approached you last month, we talked about needing the money that was previously allotted for the DDA, but for some reason or other was left off just this last year where it had been included in the last 9 years. There was no action taken last month, but we need action taken to get that money or at least some money in there, because, and to come into compliance with the state rules, we've got to have a seal, for the, DDA. We've also got to have that bank account set up for the DDA. And of course, we've got classes that will be coming up, but we do have 12 months to do those. I'm hoping it won't take that long, but we can put those off for a while. But we are having people come in to talk to us about things, the legal aspects. We're gonna have people from the county and hopefully some people from the state coming to future meetings. In fact, another thing that I wanted to report is that we will not be open to the public for the next few meetings because the state says that until we have all of our ducks in a row and everything in compliance, we cannot be open to the public, which this is something that we didn't know. We weren't aware that that was the situation. However, that doesn't mean that the DDA would not appreciate and accept any kind of information, ideas, and anything they can do to help. Yes, sir.
I think what she's trying to say is they can't have meetings like under the DDA name. Is what, so, because every time y'all meet, y'all would have to follow open records. I'm not sure what state.
They told us that we couldn't be open to the public until we have, until we're in complete compliance.
I think they're saying you can't have meetings, is what I'm thinking that they're trying to say.
No, they said we gotta have meetings in order to get everything together, but they said they can't be open to the public.
How can you have a public meeting in private?
That's what I'm saying, is we cannot have public meetings until we
But you're
come
having
together.
a meeting and it's closed to the public.
Well, we've got to meet in order to get everything together and learn what we've got to
It's
do.
been an open meeting. That's a city.
That's the state, that's what the lady at the state told
Let
me.
me look in, because I think you may be talking past one another, because I think she may be saying to you, y'all can't have any meeting until you've got your ducks in a row. But,
Well, we're trying to have the meetings in order to get our ducks in a row, because we don't know everything
yeah,
that we
but
need
we
to do.
can't
and
call
we're
it open meetings to
having
do it,
people.
so let me make sure I understand what's going on there, okay?
Okay,
I got a
but
question.
we do have to have some kind of monies in here to help us get going. Yeah, Gerald is the co-chairman of the DDA. You wanna come on up?
What I want to ask is, what you're saying was not properly organized yet. And, that's
You're
why.
not a DDA.
Yes, not yet, because we don't have the
We're
ducks
not
in a row,
in
as you're saying.
compliance, yes.
As far as the bylaws, the accounts, and,
I think they're saying
And
that
some
you
other
can't meet
things.
as a DDA.
well, they saying we couldn't open as a public. Just like a store, if it's not stocked, you can't open it. And we're not ready yet.
Let me, Mayor, if you don't mind, I need to check on that.
If you just look into that for us.
Yeah, because I think we may be just misunderstanding what you're
I
trying to
just
say
wanted
too.
to address the money. In the years past, we had 2,000, and I have a list of amendments at any time we're ready for the 2015 amendments, and that is one of them. So I want to include $2,000 in the DDA.
Well, I sent a draft of the amendment to amend, but it's gotta have some stuff to amend.
Okay.
So I just been emailing Pam and the mayor, because I didn't really know who to
Well, we're
send it to.
sort of, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, because they're saying we've got to have these things.
Well, they can't pay you any money until they amend their budget.
Okay. When,
I don't
is there
have
any
email,
way we
so-
can get any kind of, that he has your emergency fund, so we can get this thing in compliance?
I don't know. I
It's
don't
in
know
the
what the
budget.
budget is. I don't know what, it's not budget.
We have to amend the budget, and that's what we're talking about. Nothing can happen until we amend the budget.
Does the DDA have any old bylaws that you know of? Because that's, we're gonna have to do a new one.
Not according to the bank one.
I'm pretty sure that we.
Well, Jim said he looked for them and he couldn't find them.
See,
When I, do you know where they are?
That's what I just said, where would they be?
Yeah, where are they?
so, that's not happening, and so.
I got a copy.
And, and be approved.
I got a copy.
That's not mine.
You can provide it to the city since they can't find it.
That's what, so we're trying to put everything together so we can open it to.
So how much money do you need, and for what do you need the money?
Well, we need to get that sealed, and I know this is a small thing, I asked for some petty cash. we just need about $24-30 to have some binders for the different members, you know,
I
just.
have binders up
I
here.
never can get it.
Yeah, I asked, and Jim told us we couldn't have them.
Well, if you've got it in a bank account, now there are minimums on those.
I mean, if there's some excess here that could be used for the DDA, some extra binders, so that we can use it, and then we've got to have that seal.
How many would you need? I
Probably.
can probably find that many of my school teachers. How many do you need?
We need at least 8.
8,
I'll get you 8 by tomorrow.
if not.
That'll be good.
Probably got that many stored in my building from over the years.
Yeah.
Also, that seal, which is probably gonna run anywhere from $50 to $100. We've got that $50 to $100, and then we've got to get a bank account open, and I
You
guess,
can't have
Does
big
the old DDA have a stamp?
yeah.
I don't think it ever went that far
You did.
to get a stamp.
Now, see, this is where they were telling me that you can't even be in compliance unless you have all of
Yeah,
this.
you gotta have all that.
Let Mrs. Daly check with that, and can you check and get with Mrs. McIntosh and, let y'all know the next step maybe?
Okay.
Debbie, how many binders do you need?
About 8,
We don't do that.
okay, that
I
would
got
be
that
good.
many, I got that many in my house. We
Yeah,
got 8
probably
binders
just,
in
you
my
know,
house.
1 or 1.5 inch binder.
Well, I'm just gonna have y'all take everything out of your binders and leave them here so I
Mine.
know.
I just got one to receive.
I don't see any sense in having to buy them every month.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I got you, Miss McIntosh.
But I just want to make sure that everybody understands, and as I said, we had a wonderful meeting. The mayor gave us a lot of great information at that meeting, as well as Howard and Eileen's on the DDA. There are so many things that the DDA can do to bring money and prosperity into this city. It's not even open to the city or the council, because there are grants available to the DDA that are not open to any other organization within the city government. And those are things that we so desperately need to make our city more viable, to spruce it up, to help with these buildings, to get some planters out there with some flowers, so that everybody I know, you know, little pansies out there, it'd be great to have a feeling of spring coming on. Just little things that will help us to encourage people to clean the temple up and to get things rolling.
We have an energetic group that we need to support.
Yeah. And any council members who would like to come, surely we can invite y'all at this point without being official.
Maybe.
But we'd love to have
Good
you.
to know.
Not
It's a
without
legal
the
meeting.
3.
It's our own budget then, if we get close.
Yeah, high
It's
place
on
at
the
the beginning.
agenda. It's on the agenda, so we should be able to do it tonight.
I just don't
That
have
would
the
be
form.
wonderful.
If you can help with the form, we can go at it. I got the amounts.
Yeah, but that's number 5, we're on number 2.
Yep, let's go.
We gotta stay in order.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, number 3, clarification to establish a position of CFO. Ms. Ransom's not here. Number 4, she's not here.
And Mayor, you're just gonna talk about what it is? Well, y'all just created the position, it has not been funded, and there was a job description with it that details out what that job would be. I don't know what clarification was needed, but, you know, y'all have that position, and the job description with it that you've approved, if you so choose to do so.
Right.
Maybe some clarification was combining a clerk and CFO position together. I think that would be something. Can we
Well, we
do
need
that?
to redo the job description to do that, because it does not include any city clerk. Duties, I mean, whatever y'all want to eventually do with it, we just have to fix it.
If we, I understand, it requires a budget, but it's just simply, we got a budget, we gotta write a budget amendment to get this there. It's an unfunded mandate, which that's a process that we've taken in advertising, that will put that 2 months out in the future. We can amend the budget and raise the salary of the city clerk and accomplish the task. And then if we wanted to promote, if we wanted to open or promote or whatever, we could do that correct.
Your current city clerk job description, if I remember correctly, includes the finance, because I separated it
Right.
out.
So if we wanted to do that,
We
and
just
we
need to
needed
redo
to
the
increase the
clerk's
salary there, we could do that just simply by amending the budget, correct?
You would need to probably address that job description too, because we need to look at that job description, which will go with it.
But we've already got the applications out. I mean, we've already got the advertisement out for city clerk.
Right.
We got some really good candidates that applied for city clerk, but
Y'all didn't approve a different job description for the city clerk, if I remember correctly.
we didn't.
Because I gave you what I would suggest doing the city clerk if you did that CFO, but that wasn't part of the agreement with CFO.
But
No, you did not.
But a job description is a document that you adjust and work you need to adjust, right?
Right, y'all need to just approve it. I think the one
Right.
that's existing has money in it.
So,
Don't hold me to
I think we need to go on ahead and interview
So I got three
these.
different city clerk jobs.
I think we need to go on ahead and interview these candidates for city clerk and to see if we need to raise the salary to meet the needs of both. Is that worthwhile? Is that making sense? So I suggest that we just, my motion is that we table this, well, I don't know, we got clarification, it's there, that's been done. And then, that we're going ahead and get the interview set up with the city clerks, see if there's a salary situation that we need to amend the budget, and go for it. Because we got some good applicants that we need to move on, and we don't need to wait, we need to get it done.
I think we have a way of funding the third CFO position combined. We have a way of funding without doing anything for the budget.
Really?
No, we're going to interview a man, Thursday. And him out here, he's got, a good bit of experience. An interim deal for $45,000.
Was this, what position is this one?
Well, I'm wrong with it. How much is $45,000?
But,
So we'll be saving some on benefits.
That idea is out there.
Well, but the thing about it is, we need to get the interviews done to see what the salaries look like. And if we need to, we come back and we take out a reserve and amend the budget and get somebody hired quickly. We are down very short-handed, and that's the most efficient way to do it.
we could possibly do another interview or two, maybe Thursday.
Go for it.
Council wanted to combine that, I'm satisfied, and there are a couple that might work.
Well, I think that if we combined it, we would be creating a new position, and we'd have to re-advertise. If we leave it alone, and just call it the city clerk, we don't have to re-advertise. And it's clearly already in there, the financial.
I'm not positive
Yeah,
what one y'all got is the city clerk job description, I'm really not. I've got 3 different ones on my system, so I can't say.
Well, we'll just make sure we have the correct, by the time we get something, we need to interview. I mean, it's up to the council to make these hires, we got it.
We have a stack of them, but nothing lady told me one about here today, she's already had one there, she kind of updated, updates on the car people. That explain what's in this chart.
I think there's 2 more besides that one.
Send Yeah. You actually got three. You got three. So if you get those set up for Thursday, and you do them, I say go for it. Is that okay with you, Mr. Mayor? Does that sound like a plan? No, because we'd have to re-advertise. Keep it clerk, keep the assistant city administrator, we can make adjustments to the job description.
We're still on number 3.
What's
the other three things?
Do that, that's amending the
What's the
budget,
other three
taking from
things?
reserve and amending the budget. We had to get the salary up so that we could get the money in here to get to work on the finances.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
They have to elect the Mayor Pro Tem.
So see harmonies with Penny Ransom, they stopped right here. So we still got 3 more meetings and then 3 more other stuff.
You ready to blow the stock us down? Okay.